Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Konich-Yeehaw podcast. My name is Jared.
And I'm Natalie.
And today we're going to be talking about anime merchandise. So right off the gate, we're going to play a little game and we're going to talk about some of the weirdest anime merchandise that we found online.
Right. And I'll go ahead and say that there are some pretty weird ones out here. This was kind of just if anything, these might be the most popular weird ones.
Yes, these are definitely the most popular weird ones. Weird ones that you find whenever you look up weird anime
stuff.
And
or merch,
I do want to point out, these are specifically non-Evangelion merch because we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
So first off, I'll start out with the Miku Hatsune Domino's Pizza Box. So whenever you order Domino's through the Domino's app, a Miku pizza box would come and it would have an AR concert for you.
Yes. Now, this one I think is interesting because obviously like with a lot of in general merchandising, so the weird things typically or to us are the mundane things.
Yeah.
Right? And with merchandising, obviously the whole goal is to get you to buy the product. Right? So Domino's was like, you know what's popular? Miku.
Yeah.
And they were right. Like, people are going to buy pizza from us because we have Miku.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And I think that in particular, this Domino's pizza box thing is interesting because what do you do with the pizza box when you're done with it?
I guess you could like cut out the QR code or whatever.
But typically you just throw it away.
Yeah.
So it's one of those like kind of weird in between things where obviously people are buying it because they like pizza and they like Miku.
Right.
Right.
Average anime fan.
Right. But it's not really something that you keep. Or,
okay, I get what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I feel like it's in like this really weird like area of like, well, you don't really get to even keep it, but you bought it because it had Miku on it.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess there's quite a bit of disposable anime merch.
Yeah.
Or anime branded things.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like tissues and razors, things like that. What was one thing that you had?
Oh, one thing that I had was rice. You heard it here first, guys. It's literally just rice. But there is a character in Love Live, apparently, who really likes rice. So as a result, she got her own brand of rice. Isn't that crazy? A limited edition rice. So, it's not like a whatever.
Yeah.
A product.
Yeah.
It's a limited edition rice. It came in 3 different sizes. And you could also buy the limited edition rice cooker.
Oh, I didn't realize the rice cooker came with it as well.
Well, it didn't come with it, but
you could buy one.
You could buy one, and it is themed for this Love Live character.
Fantastic.
So
you know what? I'm almost not even surprised about this one because like just merchandising with idols just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does.
My next one is the 23-foot anatomically correct snake girl body pillow.
Yes.
There's a anime called Monster Mizumi where one of the main girls is a snake girl, and they sold a very limited amount of 23-foot long body pillows.
Yes.
And they sold out pretty much immediately.
And it's wonderful.
Yes.
Like, it's fantastic. And we're also going to get back into body pillows later.
Yes.
Because body pillows as a anime merchandise phenomenon is very interesting.
It is. We'll definitely talk about more of that later. But this is like...
This is to the extreme. This is to the extreme.
The fact that this is like an officially licensed merch.
Yes.
Like crazy.
Yes. Like who... I mean, we know who.
Yeah.
But...
Okay, my thing is that...
Cool.
So they just sold... they only sold the cover for it.
Yes, only the cover. So you have to like make your own pillow.
Yeah, you have to make your own
pillow. Because
pillow.
who owns a 23-foot long pillow?
Yeah.
Incredible stuff, really. And all of the product pictures for it are pretty funny because it's people like tangled up in it.
Yeah.
Because it's so long. Another one that I had was, so For the anime Attack on Titan, there is apparently a laundry detergent in Japan that is called Attack.
Nice.
That's the name of the brand.
Mm-hmm.
So what did they do? They made Attack on Laundry with official sponsor Captain Levi on the bottle of this laundry detergent, which is just funny.
Yeah, it is. like with the rice, it's a character specific thing that's like the average person wouldn't really understand it, but like to an anime fan, you're like, oh, there it is.
Yep. Yeah. It's wild stuff. They'll put anime on anything.
Yeah, they really will.
Mm-hmm.
And on that, my last thing is the Gundam Char Aznavour Zaku 2 antenna vibrator.
You heard it here correctly. A vibrator.
Yes.
But I think what makes this one more humorous, is that it's the antenna of a helmet.
Yes.
Like, it's not, but it's the antenna.
Yeah, it's the antenna. Like, and I'm pretty sure it comes in like a hand, like holding it.
It does, yeah. It does come in a hand holding it.
Yeah, and so it's just like, so apparently there's actually like quite a bit of anime themed like sex toys.
Yes.
Like that's like a whole genre in
Yes.
itself, especially vibrators.
Of course. Yeah. That one's just funny, like I said, because it's
Yeah, it's shaped like
a robot piece.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then the last one that I had was the it's a umbrella, right? From the brand Million Girls Project. Sorry. They usually sell just like kind of kooky things, like. But this is a umbrella where on the outside of it is just like a high school girl, nondescript high school girl anime. And then when you open it and look up in it, it's the view of up her skirt.
That's like some serious degenerate stuff.
Yes, that's some serious degenerate stuff, but it also just comes back around to like this is a product where like can you even use it for its intended, quote unquote, intended purpose?
If you have no shame.
Like you would have to have no shame.
Yeah. Like the people that I can't even imagine the type of person that unironically buys that and is like, oh, I can't wait to use this
as an umbrella in public.
Yeah.
Like that is crazy to me. That because now I'm getting back around to this is a product that you almost can't even use for what it's for.
Yeah.
But it's like something that people want because it's anime themed and it's
Yeah.
quirky.
Yeah,
and
it's definitely like aimed at a very specific target.
Right.
Of like degenerate, stereotypical otakus.
Right.
Because none of these items are sold in America.
No, they're not unless you like buy them. Like
Yeah, import them.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking for.
And so it's really interesting because they really know how to. Japan has one thing like they've figured out how to do something very well, and that's how to merchandise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything is merchandised. Like even non-anime brands have like a mascot.
Right. Yeah.
And so like everything has, obviously I'm making a huge generalization here, but everything has a look to it. Like something that's like, oh, this is the character for this.
Makes it really recognizable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why anime themed things excel so well. I mean, we definitely have like.
Well, Disney is ours.
Yeah, Disney is ours.
Yeah.
Disney is ours. But even the Disney stuff, like Disney phones, Disney, like Mickey Mouse phones, Mickey Mouse silverware, things like that, that's almost more collector stuff.
Like, well, that's fair. You can see some of this stuff as collector though as well.
Yeah, but like there's okay, you're right, because I'm thinking of like disposable things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I'm thinking like tissues.
Right.
And
yeah.
I don't
Things
know
that are like actually intended for use,
Yeah.
and like if you don't use it, it's kind of like what.
Yeah, because
yeah.
if you get like, let's see, like Avengers silverware, like you're not going to use that.
Most likely not. No.
Yeah. But if you get like
Unless it's
Naruto chopsticks, you can use those.
yeah, because it's common to get like that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
More personalized, I guess, is what
Yeah.
I'd say.
And so that creates these very interesting products.
Yes, it does.
To talk about some not weird things, just to reset, because anime products in America are not uncommon. I wouldn't
Yeah.
necessarily say that they're common at this point, but they're not uncommon. You can find manga and some like anime posters at Walmart. You can find anime things at Target. Like these very much American stores sell
Right.
anime stuff.
It'll be very limited,
Yes.
but it will be there. It'll be like the most popular stuff, right?
Yeah, like your Attack on Titan, Naruto, One Piece, things like that.
Yeah.
That isn't to say that there aren't stores that cater to anime fans, though. We have like Hot Topic. Hot Topic is like baby's first anime products.
Yes.
Like
yes.
they have they have like
Well, they'll sell things
Yeah.
from clothing, which is more practical.
Yeah.
We'll call it practical, right? To things like figures or pop figures,
Pop
nothing
figures.
like crazy.
but they
like
still
pop
have
figures.
like they'll have like
or gotchas, or
gotchas and like
The
small things.
jewelry.
Jewelry,
Is
yeah.
a big one, yeah.
I was thinking like they'll have like hats.
Oh yeah,
Or something like
hats,
that, yeah.
socks,
hmm
things like that. Yeah.
But mostly shirts. That's where I remember getting my first anime shirt. Trying to remember what it was. Ah man, I can't remember. But I do remember that it was I'm pretty sure my first anime shirt was a Hitalia shirt.
Oh, that's cringe.
And it was and it was a woman's shirt.
Of course it was.
Because like a lot of the men's clothes were just one piece, and like they didn't have like as diverse of a selection as the men's clothes, or the men's clothes didn't have as diverse a selection as the women's clothes did.
Right.
And so I wonder if I haven't been to a Hot Topic recently, or I haven't really looked around a Hot Topic. I wonder if it's kind of the same, of like very targeted, of
Like gendered?
Yeah.
Possibly. I think that whenever it comes to, I would say like outside of shirts. So maybe let's talk about, I don't know, Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Like
Sailor Moon, obviously, yeah.
let's take something that's like really feminine, right? So you can probably get a T-shirt for Sailor Moon in either cut of a shirt, but then you'll get like a skirt. Obviously, that's going to be targeted towards
Yeah, obviously.
women, right? Or you get like the makeup targeted towards women, things like that. I think it just kind of depends.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that. I was thinking more along the lines of shirts.
Yeah.
Because like, for example, like there's no men's Black Butler shirts.
No.
Like that is like for the girls.
Yes,
like
Black
even
Butler
though the
is for the
show
girls.
isn't necessarily like a female,
It's not a shoujo.
it's not a shoujo show. Like it's not necessarily aimed towards them. It's just the fan base is mostly women.
Yeah.
And so I was just curious, if like it's still pretty like gendered, of like this is shows for girls.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I doubt that you can find a men's Sailor Moon shirt still.
I mean, I think it would just
It
would depend on the design.
Yeah, and in the same fashion, I almost doubt that you could find a women's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure shirt.
Oh, I think you could find a woman's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure shirt. I
Really?
think you can, yeah.
What about Dragon Ball Z?
Okay, maybe not that one.
Yeah.
Maybe not that one. Yeah.
JoJo's, yeah, probably. You're probably right. That's for everyone.
Yeah, JoJo's for everybody.
Other stores that are like cater towards like nerds and like anime fans would be like box lunch.
Yeah, and I don't actually know how popular box lunch is. Like, genuinely, because I know of one box lunch location. Maybe two. Actually, okay, take it back. I know of two box lunch locations. I don't know how popular they are among the mall scene in America, like throughout America. All I know is that here in North Texas, there's probably a box lunch in the mall.
Yeah.
So,
I'm trying to remember because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think box lunch was it's either box lunch or another store that branched off from GameStop.
it might have been box lunch.
I think it was box lunch. Because what it was that GameStop started selling more merchandise, like anime figurines and things like that, and then they just opened their own store, like specifically for that merchandise. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's box lunch. That could be completely wrong, and we delete this part.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, regardless.
But yeah, so box lunch. Well, I was also
yeah.
going to say that box lunch, we say that it caters towards anime fans. I would personally say, from my experience at a box lunch, it is mostly for Disney adults.
Oh yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah.
So, just like, by the way, we're not saying that this is like
it's not an anime store.
Anime store.
It's not an anime store. It's
more
a nerd
like
store.
it's a nerd store, exactly. So, it's still going to be mostly just your top animes.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer, Naruto, One Piece, stuff like that.
Just a little more diverse than Target.
It's a little bit more diverse
Walmart.
to Target. There's going to be more products, but it is mostly Disney merchandise.
Yeah.
So.
And then Barnes and Noble.
Yes. Much smaller selection, I would say.
Much smaller selection.
Also, no shirts. This is like not apparel. So this is the first one that we have mentioned that is not apparel.
Yeah. But Barnes and Noble does have an entire manga section. So
they branch off from that. They put the figures, the plushies, the socks, the gachas, just right next to it.
Mm-hmm. And that isn't to say that... Oh, wait. But there is anime merch that you will find pretty much everywhere. And that's pop figures.
Yes.
Pop figures you'll pretty much find everywhere. Because they are like the most common anime figure. They're like the most mainstream. You can find them in pretty much any store. Hobby Lobby.
Right.
Like Walmart, anywhere. And then also, if a store is going to have anime merch at all, it is more than likely going to be the cringe anime shirts.
Yeah.
Or just like ones that don't necessarily look that good.
That's a better way to put it. Is they probably won't look as good.
Yeah.
It's an aesthetic thing. It's totally just an aesthetic thing. Like if you dig just having the Demon Slayer logo slapped onto a black shirt, that's fine.
Yeah.
But to me, that's not really a cool design.
Yeah, like there will be like Dragon Ball Super shirts that are like, here are the characters, and it says Dragon Ball Super on it. Right, yeah. Not necessarily that cool, but if you're like in an anime store desert, then that might be your only option. Right. And at least it has something. Right. But there are also sometimes these shirts I'm thinking about are like Five Below shirts that are like eat, sleep, anime repeat. Yes. And I stopped watching anime to be here. Yes. Shirts like that. The cringe shirts. Yeah, those shirts also exist. They do. And I'm so curious as to who wears those.
Middle school boys.
Middle school boys.
Middle school boys.
That makes sense.
Yes. That's when people wear those shirts. Like I remember being in middle school and seeing those shirts on my classmates and being like not necessarily anime themed, but like the like,
video game ones.
Yeah, like or
I stopped playing video games to be here
or something like that. Yeah. That's what they wore, and with like the stick figures and like whatever the hell. I remember it.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's just kind of interesting to me that they sell them in like men's extra large.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I can't imagine those are necessarily sold very well. But you know what?
Never
They're
know.
like adult weebs, like a Disney adults, can be pretty unfashionable.
Yeah,
Like
they can be.
they will grab at anything that
Anime
like
related. They're
anime
like,
related and not really
yeah.
put a thought to it and
They're
just
like,
be
yeah,
like,
this is cool.
yeah. Um, I'd say especially like, well, okay, I'm not gonna get into that because like that's a little mean.
Okay.
But you know,
Mm-hmm.
there's like a certain type of person that wears that, and it's the same people that wore them in middle school.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Um, but that being said, there are stores that are specifically aimed towards anime merch, or specifically has anime merch.
Right.
We are fortunate enough to be in an area that has quite a few of them.
Quite a few of them, yes.
Anime Pop is one that comes to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Anime Yankee. There are quite a few.
Yeah,
They're not necessarily
Wild West Weebs.
Wild West Weebs.
Yes, yeah.
They're not necessarily the biggest stores, but there's also stores in like the mall that have
Yeah.
like anime stuff.
They'll be just like Asian living. Like
Yeah.
the most off-brand.
I was gonna get to that in a second, actually. Because,
most off-brand
yes,
thing you can think of is just a cluttered store full of miscellaneous Asian-ish things.
yes, which will
Which
segue
it
into
also
the next
includes-
thing,
yeah.
which is there's also just Japanese stores.
Yes.
Like we are very fortunate to be living where we are in like a pretty Asian centric area that we have just straight up Japanese stores
Yes.
that have like Kinokuniya,
Right.
like
Love
Asian
Kinokuniya.
living in the mall, Daiso. It
Lots of
doesn't
Daisos.
Yeah, Daiso.
We recently looked it up, by the way. If you guys are out of Texas and don't know what a Daiso is, it makes sense because there are 8 in Texas. And that's like the most
yeah, there's
of
like
anywhere in the U.S.
yeah, there's like 8 in Texas, but only like 12 in total in the U.S. Like
crazy.
something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And like
4 of them are near us.
Yeah, I was like 3 of them, 3 or 4 of them are near us. So, like less than 30 minutes away from us. So yeah, there are like just stores of very like different variety that sell anime merch,
Yes.
from Walmart that has the most basic things to just straight up Japanese stores
Right.
that sell it because it's like they're Disney.
Right. Yeah.
And there is anime merch for just about everything. We kind of talked about this at the beginning, but there's clothes, pet cosplay,
Of course.
food, drinks. I have an anime cookbook. It's
Yes.
not like a specific anime, but it is
No.
like these are anime foods.
Right. And there are like specific anime ones. Like there's a Ghibli cookbook. There's a
Yeah.
Naruto cookbook. Like there's specific ones.
Yeah, and then stationery. Stationery is a big one, and there's a lot of anime stationery.
Pins, chopsticks. We already talked about chopsticks. Chopsticks is actually a pretty big one too.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty easy to make.
Before I go on, just to clarify, would you consider Hello Kitty anime stuff or just Asian, like Asian mascot?
So Hello Kitty is a kawaii mascot.
Okay, yeah.
And in that sense, it's very difficult to say because in being a kawaii mascot, she isn't inherently anime.
Yeah.
But kawaii is so kawaii in it of itself is so intrinsically anime that they're kind of one and the same.
Okay, I get what you mean.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I was trying to think of like things in America that may not have like a cartoon for them, but could be seen as the same. I'm thinking like video games, for example. video games aren't cartoons, but you could still kind of classify them in the same genre
Of
of
cartoon.
like,
Whenever you get cartoon merch.
yeah, whenever
Quote
you
unquote,
get
yeah.
like, I guess we kind of separate video games and merch and cartoons.
Kind of. I would, because you know what? Whenever you were talking about shirts that you can find at Walmart, that are anime and like baby's first anime shirt, you know what my brain first went to is the Link shirt that every
Yeah.
boy owned at some point. But that's not anime. That's
Yeah.
a video game.
But it is a Japanese video game.
Yeah.
And so, but you're right.
Yeah. I would
And
just like
so-
that like crossover of like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, you're right. Video games are separate. And I guess America doesn't necessarily really have like, the only thing that I could think of is like food brands. So like,
Yeah.
like Wendy's shirts. That's not like, but we don't really have anything
No.
like Hello Kitty.
I don't think we have anything like Hello Kitty
Yeah.
that we could just put on everything.
Because our Hello Kitty is Mickey Mouse.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But
You're right though. You're right.
Yeah, but Mickey Mouse has
Mickey Mouse and Friends. Yeah.
has a show, and so Mickey Mouse was a cartoon before he was a product.
Yeah. Well, wasn't Hello
unlike-
Kitty Hello Kitty was in a show before product?
I don't believe so. No, Hello Kitty started as a product and then made a show from it.
All right.
If I remember correctly. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments.
Yeah.
Now, the king of anime merch is Evangelion.
Yes. You can get anything in the world Evangelion themed.
There is,
And I mean anything in the world.
There was a blog post or a video, something along those lines, that it was like surviving a month on just Evangelion merch.
Oh.
Like, could you do it?
Okay.
And the answer is yes. Like, there's enough Evangelion food, cars, toilet paper, everything Evangelion that you could survive on Evangelion merch.
It's insane. Like in a lot of the lists that we looked through and playing that little game going through our like favorite unusual ones, a lot of them were Evangelion merch. I saw a recurring one was like eye drops.
Yes.
Like things that you don't think need to be branded and marketed.
Yes. I'm going to go through this just really quick of Evangelion merch that I found that is like, why?
Right.
Fishing lures, bucket, body spray, engagement rings. This is all official merch, by the way.
Yes.
Razors, credit card, canned bread, dehumidifier, and my favorite, the life-sized Ray figure.
Yeah.
So these are all official Evangelion merch that they made for some reason.
For some reason, I'm sure that there are collectors in Japan who eat it up.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely.
Like, I don't mean like actually want to use the product. I just mean have it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, you think that it's one of those things where it's put into perspective marketing. You know what I mean? Like, I think that we think a lot of things are over marketed. Evangelion was really over marketed.
Yeah.
And the thing is that they still make Evangelion products.
Oh,
the thing.
yeah.
This is a show from the 90s.
Yeah. Not to count there was the Rebuild movies.
This is a show that originally aired in the 90s.
Originally aired in the 90s, yes.
And it keeps being brought back up through movies, through retellings, and then, of course, through the merchandise.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
Evangelion will never go away. Like, it is one of
No.
those shows ingrained in Japan.
Yes.
Like, it's like the Avengers.
It
Like,
is.
It is.
It's so funny
yeah.
because it is, but in such a different way.
Yeah.
Because in America and where the Avengers, they just keep building. Like, the
Yeah.
Avengers keeps expanding. Evangelion is kind of set.
You're right. Yeah.
Evangelion is set. Sure, there are different endings. And some different timeline things, maybe. Like, there's different versions.
Yeah.
But there is an ending, and there's no expanding on it.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've talked mostly about mundane things that are anime related, but there are a couple anime related things that are very popular, that are very normalized, that I think are incredibly weird and it's odd that they're normalized.
Right.
And probably the number one is body pillows.
Yes. I am excited to talk about body pillows.
Yeah.
Because I think that they are is such a weird phenomenon. So, if you don't know, something that is very common to buy at a convention, whether it be from an independent artist or from a company, from a dealer, is body pillow covers. Or body pillow casings, or however you want to say it. So, traditionally, what these are meant for is that they are double-sided, right? So they're printed on one side, you flip it over, it's printed on the other side. And the idea is that this is supposed to be sexual. It is supposed to, like, have an innuendo. Some of them are just outright explicit, I will say. But essentially, on one side, you have a character laying clothed, but maybe kind of sexy like whatever. And then on the other side, you have them either naked, in lingerie, in some other like more sexual pose, right? And like I said, these can vary in how explicit they are. Some of them are just like nudity, and you know, they'll have them like censored on the stands, and you have to like buy it in order, like, you know, you can't like look at it yet. But I just think they're so interesting because that was their original intended purpose, right?
Yeah.
Was to be sexual, to be for the degenerates. Like, for the degenerates to, like, sleep with and do whatever with. You know, and, like, they have there's a bug on my microphone. They have I've seen, like, jokes around the idea of the anime body pillow done like in media, where the idea is that the weeb who has an anime body pillow like sees her as like a girlfriend or as like a person, like a real person, like
there was a guy that, like, if I remember correctly, got like legally married to his body pillow.
So the fans are crazy. I'm not, you know, the fans are crazy, especially with the body pillows. But what I love about this phenomenon is that weebs who like to make fun of the degenerates, right? I think that this all kind of first started in a way to make fun of them. Yeah. Right? Is that they have just completely flipped it on its head. And now there are meme body pillows. And that I think is very fun. Like the snake one that we talked about. So she is sexual. Yes. Like, and one side of her
she got big, and she's not double-sided.
She is.
I didn't think she was.
She's double-sided. I looked it up. She is double-sided. She has big breasts, and she, whatever, right? Like, and she's like covering them up and like, whatever. But she's humorous because of her size, because she is so long, and that's like a good fun play on the body pillow. The other ones that I've seen are just straight up like, here's a worm on a string.
One of my favorite that I've seen at convention was a velociraptor. There's Truck Coon that we've talked about in our last episode. Yes. A trash can.
There's just rats. Like, think of like maybe some, I mean, I guess it's kind of like rats, but like not in a weird.
Yeah, no, these are all like not in a weird way.
Yeah, these are all just like, here's a body pillow, and then still though, like maybe you turn it over and it's like a different pose. But
I'd say that those ones are usually one-sided. Like the meme ones are usually one-sided.
But they're still, it's just fun.
Yeah. Something that's also interesting is that they are past their intended use, because they, like, at anime conventions, vendors will sell like keychain body pillows.
Yes, like they are just a symbol in the anime community now. of like the body pillow.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want to buy a full-size body pillow, maybe you don't have a body pillow.
Yeah.
You know, like honestly, or whatever. But it is very funny that now they sell keychain size body pillows, because instead of getting just a keychain of a worm on a string, you have a keychain of a worm on a string that is printed onto a body pillow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all in the inside joke, humorous kind of way.
Yeah, it's like this whole like the body pillow is the image. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
The body
yeah.
pillow is the
It's
image.
like the icon of the body pillow.
Right. And that is that's fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really funny.
Yeah. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about that was also like these are things that are normalized but are very weird are anime mouse pads.
Oh, yes.
Usually they are of female anime characters' breasts that are for wrist support. And
Yes.
so because
For the
these,
gamers.
Yeah, because ergonomic mouse pads exist. They've
Yes, they
existed
do.
for a while. But these ones, they are ergonomic mouse pads that are made to be sexual.
Yes. So, like, what's supporting your wrist? Maybe it's her boobs. Maybe it's her butt.
Yeah.
Like,
And then
Yeah.
just like the body pillow, it's also been taken
Gone all the way back around.
all the way back around to like now it's mice. Now it's
mice.
2 mice on each side.
Now it's a
or
corgi
a
butt.
corgi butt.
now it's a corgi
You
butt.
know, things like that.
Maybe it's like chickens and they're sitting on eggs. And
Yeah.
it's the eggs that are supporting. Yeah.
And so it's interesting. It's interesting to see fans take something sexual, go from this is not sexual to I made it sexual to now it's not sexual anymore.
Now it's not sexual, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
Like, there's still humor at play here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it also just shows maybe kind of I mean, okay, the degenerates are still out there.
Oh, definitely.
And they're still purchasing the sexual body pillows, the sexual mouse pads.
Yeah, because they're still there.
They're still
They
there.
still
They're
make
still
a
there.
profit on them.
But I think it does show that anime spaces are, or at least certain anime fans are trying to make the anime community more accessible.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
One thing that I just lastly wanted to touch on the anime body pillows is that like a lot of anime characters are underage.
Yep. A lot of anime characters are underage.
Yeah.
Which
There's
yeah.
official merch of underage character body pillows.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a little weird.
It is weird. And once again, I think it's, again, it shows that there are anime fans that want to push back on it. That want to
Yes.
that want to make, like I said, the fan space more accessible, more
More family friendly.
more family friendly. Like, obviously not everything has to be family friendly. I
Yeah.
get that. And there are some sexual, like, if that's what you're into, like, it's not my business.
Yeah.
I guess is the best way to put it. But I do think it's cool that there are other options.
Mm-hmm. And that's about it for today.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the Konich-Yeehaw podcast. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Jared.
And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.